Oh, hi, Pete.
Hi.
Oh, how was Christmas?
Fine. I got a flamethrower, a jet plane, a platoon of artillery, and a bicycle.
A bicycle?
Yeah. How was your Christmas?
Don't ask. Boy, it's grim around here. Every time you open your mouth, somebody tries to snap your head off.
Why?
My Uncle Kenneth flew in from Europe. He's a foreign correspondent. He works for my dad's paper. Well, a publisher, old J.R. Monster Castle, fired him.
At Christmas time?
Yeah. J.R. stands for just rotten. Come on, let's get out of here.
What's all that?
My Christmas presents. I'm gonna do a little trading.
Coffee?
Yeah, thanks. Where is everybody?
Well, Ross is out trading his Christmas presents. Patty and Kathy are in their room cooking up diabolical plots against J.R. Castle, and Kenneth is asleep.
Poor Ken. It's not going to feel much like celebrating New Year's Eve this year.
Neither am I. I think it's inexcusable for J.R. to have fired your brother at Christmas.
It's his newspaper. He can do as he likes with it.
It's his newspaper, but it's my father. I'm not going to let Mr. Castle get away with it, Patty. How are you going to stop him? He's already done it. Father loves being a foreign correspondent for the Chronicle. It's been his whole life. Papa says your dad can go to work on any newspaper in New York. If he wanted to be cooped up in an office, he'd hate that. He may have to get used to it. Not if we use our imaginations. We have to think of something that will make Mr. Castle hire Father again. Kathy, you don't know J.R. like I do. He makes Scrooge look like Santa Claus. I know one way to get him. He's very susceptible to flattery. What is there to flatter him about? What difference does it make? Tell him what a great publisher he is. He'll eat that up. If he were a great publisher, he would have given Father a bonus for what he did instead of firing him. A little soft soap can wash away a lot of problems. I could never flatter Mr. Castle. I would choke on the words.
Morning, J.R.
Good morning, Martin. I thought I'd pick you up so that we could ride over to the UN conference together.
All right.
JR is here, man your battle stations.
Meet Kathy, who's lived most everywhere, from Zanzibar to Berkeley Square. But Patty's only seen the sights a girl can see from Brooklyn Heights. What a crazy pair, but they're cousins, identical cousins all the way. One pair of matching bouquets, different as night and day. Where Kathy adores a minuet, the ballet russe, and crepe Suzette. Our Patty loves to rock and roll, a hot dog makes her lose control. What a wild duet, still they're cousins, identical cousins, and you find they laugh alike, they walk alike, at times they even talk alike. You can lose your mind when cousins are two of a kind.
Good morning, Natalie.
Good morning. Coffee?
Yes, thank you.
Cream?
No.
Sugar?
No. Very good coffee, Natalie.
If I'd known you were coming, I'd have prepared it differently.
Sarcasm does not become you, Natalie.
I'm sorry. It's just that when I see a fine newspaper man like Kenneth fired because he used some imagination and went out and got a great story,
Kenneth left his assignment without permission. Illegally entered a country in the middle of a revolution, got the paper in trouble with the State Department, and...
J.R., why don't you take him back?
Tell her, Martin.
It's a fixed policy of the Chronicle. When a man has been fired, he's never rehired.
That's ridiculous.
Natalie, you keep making coffee and I'll keep running my newspaper.
Excuse me.
She seems disturbed.
She can't stand anyone making a fuss over her coffee. Get my notes.
Castle. Good morning, Mr. Castle. Good morning, Mr. Castle.
Good morning, Kathy.
May I speak with you a moment?
Are you also planning to tell me how to run my newspaper?
Oh, I don't think anyone could tell you how to do that, Mr. Castle. You're the greatest publisher in the world.
Who said so?
Father. He's always saying that.
You never said it to me.
I think perhaps Father's a bit afraid of you.
Kenneth Lane afraid of me? He doesn't act that way. Why, he's the most
That's because you make him nervous. See, he thinks of you as being on a high pinnacle.
He said that?
Often. He says the only real newspaper publisher left in the business is J.R. Castle.
Is that so? I always thought he referred to me as Old Sour Lips.
Old Sour Lips? Old Printer's Ink, he always called you.
He did?
Oh, yes. He always says he could never work for anyone else. Where else would he find a warm, sympathetic genius like J.R. Castle to work for?
Young lady, I can't tell you what an impression this little talk has made on me.
Has it?
Indeed it has.
I'm ready, J.R. Oh, Kathy, would you give your father a message for me?
I'd like to hear that.
Certainly, Uncle Martin.
Just tell him I'll have lunch with him at 1 o'clock.
If she gives her father that message, you're going to be dining alone. And you can give your uncle a message for me, young lady. You tell him Old Sour Lips says he's still fired.
Boy, what a wuzza.
What's a wuzza?
J.R. Castle. You should have seen the deep freeze he just gave me.
You should see the deep freeze he just gave me. And besides, there's nothing we can do about it.
About what?
About that wuzza.
Yes, there is. When someone attacks my cousin Kathy, they're attacking me. Old Sour Lips isn't dealing with kids, you know.
Your father's going to do everything he can to see that Uncle Kenneth gets his job back.
I have a feeling that isn't enough, Mamo. It's going to take something diabolical.
Such as what?
I could get all my friends to cancel their subscriptions. That's 3 subscriptions.
Don't wreck the newspaper. Your father's still the editor. Why don't you stop worrying about it, Patty?
No. There must be a way to get to him. We have to find J.R.'s Achilles heel, that's all.
And then?
Hey, look at this. Rebel troop seize Kurdistan. General Mazim overthrows dictator. I always knew old Muzzy could do it. He's a good man. I spent a lot of time with him at his headquarters when he was hiding out in the mountains. I really got to know him.
Perhaps if you told that to Mr. Castle.
What, old Sour Lips? No, I don't need him. I can always get a job.
A desk job?
Oh, what's the matter with that?
You always said that a good newspaper man went out where the news was made, and that the hacks stayed in the offices and put captions on history.
Did I say that? I was lying. Now, that's all behind me now, Kit Kat. It'll be interesting working at a desk.
Will it?
Of course. It means that you and I can be together.
That part of it would be wonderful. But if you were a foreign correspondent again, we'd be together anyway after I finished school.
Now, I want you to stop worrying about it, honey. I mean, I'm going to enjoy settling down. We'll move into an apartment of our own. Maybe we can find a place down in the village. Now, have regular hours, 9 to 5. Get 2-week vacation every year. We'll go back to the scenes of our crimes. Paris, Switzerland, Nairobi, Istanbul.
In 2 weeks?
It'll work out fine. You'll see.
I'll come back for your train. He'd be miserable at a desk job, Patty.
He could go to work as a foreign correspondent on another newspaper.
He loves the Chronicle. I think it hurt him very deeply when Mr. Castle fired him. He's very proud. Working for another newspaper isn't going to ease that hurt. Perhaps if I talk to Mr. Castle.
You already did.
What?
I already did. Forget it.
Old Castle's got a moat around him. You couldn't shake him loose with a... Yes, you could. Kathy, I know what to do. We fix one little detail, and J.R. has to hire your father back. What's the one little detail? Your father has to write a bestseller. What? It's J.R.'s Achilles heel. He's always bragging about my men who have stormed the citadel of the literary world and written best-selling books. The influence of working under a good newspaper publisher can't be emphasized enough. But Father's never written a book. So what? He's the best foreign correspondent in the business, right? Right. He's had all kinds of fantastic adventures, right? Right. Last night he kept us fascinated for hours just telling us of a few of his experiences. All he has to do is put it down on paper. He'll be so famous, J.R. will come crawling to him to get him back. He could write about the time he had breakfast in the kitchen with the Prime Minister. Or about the crap game with the Shah where 20 wives changed hands. Or the time you escaped from the tribe of nomads in Tibet. It could be a great book, Father.
Yeah, but I've never written a book, Kit Kat. I'm afraid
I know you could do it, Uncle Kenneth.
Listen, there's a big difference between being a reporter and sitting down and writing your memoirs.
Will you try?
Well, I suppose I could try.
We've done it again! You can work upstairs. We'll move in a desk for you and some writing tablets and pencils and a typewriter. And we'll be very quiet. I can't believe it. We have a best-selling author in the family. Beautiful. If I were a writer, my mouth would be watering. He can start right away. Boy, wait till old Sour Lips hears about this. The next step is to get the book published. It hasn't been written yet. You know your trouble. You worry too much about details. Let's get ready. Where are we going? To see an old buddy of mine. Who? The biggest publisher in the business, Bennett Blake. We'd like to see Mr. Bennett Blake, please.
Do you have an appointment?
We don't need an appointment. We're bringing him a bestseller.
I see. Your name, please?
Just tell him Patty Lane and Kathy Lane.
There are two young ladies here to see you, Mr. Blake. Kathy Lane and Patty Lane.
Patty Lane and Kathy Lane? It certainly is lucky you're knowing Mr. Blake. Where do you know him from? I saw him interviewed on a TV show once. You saw him in... Let's get out of here. Don't be silly. We're doing him a favor. How often does a bestseller come along?
No, they don't have an appointment, but they're bringing you a bestseller.
That's even better than an appointment, isn't it? Send them in.
This way, ladies.
Good morning, ladies.
You're Bennett Blake.
Whom are you expecting? My secretary tells me that you've brought a bestseller.
We didn't exactly bring it. It's at home being written.
Oh, it's an unwritten bestseller. Which one of you is the author?
Neither of us. It's being written by my father.
I take it this is his first book.
Yes, it is.
And you're here to get a publication contract and a big advance, right?
How did you know?
Because I have a file full of letters from people who want the same thing. I'm afraid there isn't much point in this, ladies.
But you haven't heard about Father's book yet.
Don't. You look like nice girls. Let me give you some advice. There isn't any publisher that'll give an unpublished writer a contract for a book without a complete outline and at least 2 chapters written.
But Uncle Kenneth's book is going to be a great book.
I wish Uncle Kenneth luck.
All right. We'll just have to take foreign correspondent to another publisher.
Do that. Now I'll read it when it comes out.
You'll find it on the bestseller list. Foreign correspondent by Kenneth Lane. Come on, Kathy. Bye.
Wait. What did you say?
I knew the title would get you.
Never mind the title. Are you talking about Kenneth Lane of the Chronicle?
Yes.
Oh, why didn't you say so?
You didn't ask us. Do you know Father?
Everybody knows your father. I've been after Ken for years to do a book.
You have?
So he finally made up his mind. Well, I can't tell you how delighted I am. And he couldn't have sent 2 lovelier emissaries.
He didn't exactly send...
Rosalie, have a contract drawn up. Yes. Non-fiction. Title, Foreign Correspondent. Author, Kenneth Lane. Maximum advance, yes. Delivery, 3 months?
I don't know if... Sure, that'll be plenty of time.
3 months, yes.
Just a minute. Come on in, honey.
How's it going?
Oh, fine. You know, it's always takes a little time for these things to get rolling.
I'm eager to read it. It's wonderful the way you've locked yourself in here. You've been working constantly. I'll bet you have a lot written.
Kathy, you remember I said I didn't think I could write this book?
And you were wrong, weren't you? Patty and I have a surprise for you. We got you a contract for your book with Bennett Blake.
You didn't.
Yes, we did. He was thrilled.
I have a little surprise for you. When the contract comes, you can put it right in there.
Father really tried to write that book, Patty, but it's against all his newspaper training. He said he couldn't get past the title.
All right, so we don't have a great author in the family. What's our next false move?
I think it's too late. He made an appointment to see about a job on another newspaper. He can't do that. He belongs on the Chronicle. I tried to stop him, but I couldn't. He's doing it for me.
Boy, that's when parents are the worst, when they're doing it for you. You know something, cousin? It took a miracle to get your father over here for Christmas. It's going to take another miracle to get him back.
Martin.
Yeah, what is it, J.R.?
Where's Kenneth?
Kenneth who?
Your brother, Kenneth.
Oh, that Kenneth. Well, I think he's probably still at home. Why?
Well, he's too good a man to be sitting at home. You tell him to get his bags packed and take a plane for Kurdistan tonight.
You serious?
Do I seem to be filled with irrepressible levity? Get your brother on a plane tonight.
Kenneth doesn't work for the Chronicle any longer. You fired him.
Oh, that was merely a gesture of protest against this flaunting of authority. Why, Kenneth is the best foreign correspondent in the field. He knows I wouldn't fire him.
He does. Somehow I can't see you as a Santa Claus, J.R. Now, why don't you tell me what's going on?
Well, we just got this telegram. It seems General Mazim is willing to give an exclusive story on the inside of the revolution to
Ken.
Yes. It seems that while General Mazim was hiding out in the mountains, he and Kenneth became fast friends.
Well, well. So by disobeying your orders, Ken pulled off the story of the year.
Well, we won't go into that now.
No.
Of course, all the other papers and press services are after this story.
Of course.
But we are not going to let it get away from us. This is a top story. Top general flees army, hides in mountains, and overthrows government. This is the sort of thing that Pulitzer Prizes are made of. You tell that to Kenneth.
You tell it to him.
What?
You fired him. You rehire him. I'll see if he's upstairs.
But Martin, he's your brother. Don't you want to break the good news to him?
No.
Hello, Mr. Castle.
Hello, Patty.
No, I'm Kathy.
I'm too wise a fox to be caught twice in the same trap. I've come to see your uncle.
Isn't he at the newspaper office?
What would he be doing at the newspaper office?
He works there.
You're talking about your father. I'm talking about your
Hi
uncle.
there, Mr. Castle. Is Papa here?
I detest this sort of chicanery.
Chicanery?
She's Patty.
Yes, I know. I told you.
You deliberately pretended to be you so that I would think it was her, and it didn't work.
Hello, J.R. Martin said you wanted to see me.
Kenneth, old boy, good to see you. You've been quite a stranger. I mean to say your paid vacation has done you the world of good. He looks fit, doesn't he, Martin?
Oh, yes, fit. What paid vacation?
Tell him, Martin.
JR is trying to ask you to come back to the Chronicle, Ken.
Oh, Father. I knew he could do it.
Well, I appreciate that, Johnny, but I've decided to take another job.
That's ridiculous. What sort of job?
It's a job on a city desk. That way I can be with Kathy.
Kathy and I have been working our heads off to get you back to Europe.
What?
It's true. That's why we wanted you to write that book. You belong over there, Father, doing what you do best.
General Mazim's waiting to give you an exclusive on the revolution.
And there'll be a small bonus.
A big bonus.
Big bonus?
Well, I don't know what to say, Kit Kat. I hate the idea of leaving you again.
It will only be for a little while. I'll come over and see you this summer. Next year I'll be graduated and we can be together again.
Well, it's just that, see, I had planned... Just say yes, Ken. All right. Cable the General not to talk to anyone till I get over there.
Oh, thank you, Kenneth. Good man. Natalie?
If it won't affect my husband's job, I would prefer not to speak with you.
Natalie?
I mean it. I think he's treated Kenneth shamefully. Kenneth should be back working for the Chronicle.
Aunt Natalie?
And you've overlooked something. He knows General Mazim. He could get a great story on the revolution.
Natalie...
No, leave her alone. I think Natalie has a point here. Natalie, why don't you and I go out in the kitchen and drink a cup of your great coffee while Kenneth packs his bag?
I put in some vitamins for you. You'll be sure to get plenty of rest.
I promise, Kit Kat.
And you wear the new sweater I bought you? The nights are awfully cold over there this time of year.
Right. Anything else?
Just please take care of yourself.
I will. For both of us. I'll write you as soon as I can.
Mr. Kenneth Lane?
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, sir. Your plane will be ready for departure immediately.
Oh.
Flight 607, now boarding at gate 17.
That's you, Ken.
Don't worry, Uncle Kenneth. We'll take good care of her for you.
Oh, I know you will.
If you get a chance, I wish you'd take another crack at that book, Uncle Kenneth.
Oh, that's not for me, honey. Well, Happy New Year. Martin.
Will passengers on flight 607 please board now?
Happy New Year, honey.
Fly the plane well, Daddy. Happy New Year. I love you.
I love you.
We made it through another one. Ready, Kathy? Ready, Patty? Let's get the new year on the road.
Here's Kathy, who's lived most everywhere, from Zanzibar to Berkeley Square. But Patty's only seen the sights a girl can see from Brooklyn Heights. What a crazy pair, but they're cousins, identical cousins, and you'll find they laugh alike, they walk alike, alike, at times they even talk alike. You can lose your mind when cousins are two of a kind.
Have you thought about what I asked you, cousin? Yes, cousin. And the answer is no. It is more blessed to give than to receive. I only need $5. Neither a borrower nor a lender be. $5 is a lot of money, Patty. It's Mom's birthday Saturday, and I haven't got a dime. You know how the family is about us buying birthday presents with our own money. Why did you spend the money on that sweater? I never could resist bulky knits. Huh? Sorry. Good morning, Aunt Natalie. Uncle Martin. Ross.
Good morning, dear.
Good morning, Kathy. Patty?
Hi, group. Listen to your horoscope, Patty. It says you're wicked, stubborn, and hate animals and children.
It does not.
Let me see that. Where did you get this? I traded it for 2 comic books.
You got taken.
Listen to what it says about you, Papa. You're a Virgo.
I am?
You're incompatible with Sagittarius, Gemini, and Pisces. Mom, you were born...
I'm a Pisces.
Now she tells us. And all these years we thought we were happily married. According to the stars, we were miserable and didn't even know it. Well, I better get going. I have an editorial meeting this morning.
Today's the 16th. It says here Virgos mustn't drive today, not before 5 o'clock.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm afraid the meeting won't wait that long. And even us Virgos have to make a living. Bye-bye.
Bye, dear.
Bye, Dad. Listen to this. Because of the conjunction of Uranus and Venus in the early hours of the day, care should be taken to avoid automobile accidents.
That's a lot of silly superstition.
From Zanzibar to Berkeley Square.
But Patty's only seen the sights a girl can see from Brooklyn Heights. What a crazy pair, but they're cousins, identical cousins all the way. One pair of matching bookends, different as night and day.
Where Kathy adores a minuet, the ballet russe, and crepe Suzette.
Our Patty loves to rock and roll, a hot dog makes her lose control. What a wild duet, still they're cousins, identical cousins, and you find they laugh alike, they walk alike, at times they even talk alike. You can lose your mind when cousins are two of a kind.
Does that feel better, darling?
Natalie, I wish you'd stop making a fuss over me. I mean, it's just a little bump. Ooh. That idiot pulled out from the curb without even looking. And he dented the whole side.
Oh, can I see it?
The side of my car.
Perhaps you shouldn't go to the office today, Martin.
Of course I'm going to the office today.
Papa, it says here that...
I don't want to hear it.
It really seemed to work. It warned you.
Now, don't start that again. It's a lot of superstitious nonsense.
That's just what I was saying, but be extra careful today, will you, Martin?
Wouldn't it be wild if this really worked?
Don't you think that if the people who wrote these books knew everything that was going to happen, they wouldn't have to write these books? Excuse me.
Hey, I'm taking a history test today. Would that thing tell me whether I'd pass or not?
How do I know? I don't do this for a living. I just...
Got an idea how to get Mom's birthday present. You're not really serious about this, are you, Patty?
Of course I am.
Everybody's interested in astrology. There's a fortune in fortune-telling. But you're not a fortune-teller. I am with the help of this book. And who's going to pay you for a reading? I'll show you, cousin. Here's my first customer. Susan? When do we go to her birthday party? November. Right, November 3rd. She's a Scorpio. Boy, is she in trouble. Hi, Patty. Hi, Kathy. Are things better between you and Alan? Has he been talking to you? That rat. And they say girls can't keep a secret. He hasn't talked to me. I haven't seen him in a week. And then who told you? How you feeling? How'd you know I had a sore throat? Mercury is very strong in your chart this month. You have to watch your health. By the way, why don't you wear your new dress tomorrow? You're gonna meet a dreamboat. I am? Well, how do you know? Sorry, I have to go now. Hey, wait a minute. If you want a reading, I'm available every day, 4 to 6, 25 cents. Bye. Hey, what's with her? I'm not sure, but I think she's planning to replace Nostradamus. Boy, are the Geminis in trouble. What are you doing? Playing polo. Where'd you get all these books and charts? The library. Do you know? I memorized the whole zodiac chart. I need some advice. From your sister or from the stars? From the stars. That'll cost you 25 cents. Boy, you fortune tellers are murder. Okay. What's the problem? Well, I'm going out for Little League Baseball. There are only 2 positions left open, pitcher and catcher. I was going out for pitcher, but Scotty Sheldon's going out for that. He's pretty tough competition. So you're asking the stars if you should try for pitcher or catcher. All right. You're Taurus. Taurus? The book. Is that good or bad? Here we are. Taurus. You are sophisticated, a good administrator, and have inflexibility of purpose. Gee, that sounds like I'd make a great pitcher. You are a faithful husband, but there is violence in you. All I asked was whether I should pitch or catch. When do you have to make your decision? Friday. Friday. That's the 19th. Taurus, the 19th. You are standing at the crossroads. That's me, all right. But don't be swayed by deceptive influences. Strike out with all your might. Strike out. Sounds like you're going to be a pitcher. Gee, I don't know how to thank you, Patty. If you're a satisfied customer, send your friends around. Bye. Hi, Patty. Are you busy? Hi, Sue. What are you doing here? Sit down. Can you really read fortunes? So far, I saved one man's life and another man's career. Tell me your problem. Well, don't be nervous. Stars and I are your friends.
Well, Alan and I have been going together for 6 months, see? And last week I found out while I was at my aunt's house, he was out someplace else doing something else, and I don't know what it was.
Anybody home?
In here, Martin. Are you feeling better, darling?
If you're referring to that little bump on the head this morning, it was nothing. Hello? Who? I don't know. Just a minute. Is Richard here?
He's upstairs with Patty.
Yeah, just a minute. Oh, hello, Richard. This call is for you. Don't mention it. You know, those kids are never off of that phone. I tried to call here for 2 hours this afternoon.
I told Fran about your accident this morning, and she said that a fortune teller told her not to take a train, and the next day there was a terrible train accident.
Natalie, coincidences happen a dozen times a minute.
I know. Still, was odd.
Boy, you sure are lucky to have a daughter like Patty. With her advising you, nothing can go wrong. Well, gotta go.
Richard, just a minute. Did Patty read your horoscope?
Did she? She's incredible. She told me an aunt of mine from the north would be coming to visit me to give me some money.
And you really believe it?
Well,
Richard, does it seem even remotely logical to you that dead pieces of matter floating around in space millions of light years away from the Earth could possibly have any effect on your daily activities?
Well,
Use your common sense, boy. Now listen, if what Patty told you was true, that would mean that all the thousands of people who were born at the same time as you would now be rushing home because a rich aunt from the north was coming down to bring them some money.
Well...
Now, doesn't that seem ridiculous?
Certainly sounds ridiculous. Well, gotta run. Mom just called to say that my rich aunt just got in from Canada, and she wants to see me right away. Bye.
You know, Patty is just amazing. This is my third reading. She told me I was going to meet this dreamboat, and I did. Well, now I stopped seeing Alan.
I was going to be a nurse, but not anymore. My stars say I'm going to be a model.
You can go in now. Did she tell you anything?
She just changed my whole life.
What'd she say?
Well, you know how everyone laughs at me because I'm so clumsy and I'm always dropping things?
Yeah.
Patty says I'm going to be a brain surgeon.
What's going on here?
Oh, we're waiting for Patty.
You mean you're all lined up here to see the soothsayer of Brooklyn Heights?
She's in her salon.
Her...
Scorpios face a restless week under the influence of Neptune. The only place in the world where things are good for Scorpios is Australia. If you can't go there, the next best thing is to stay in your room.
I will.
I have a patient.
Forgive me for interrupting. I'd like to speak to you if the stars don't mind.
Would you excuse me, please, Phyllis?
Sure.
Phyllis? Thank you.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Patty, are you taking money for this?
Why not? I'm getting paid for a service.
Well, I'll tell you why not. In the first place, there happens to be a law against fortune-telling.
I'm not telling fortunes. I'm reading charts.
The term fortune-telling includes reading charts, reading palms, phrenology.
What's that?
Phrenology is the art of telling fortunes by feeling the bumps on people's heads.
That's ridiculous.
Look, Papa, I studied all these books and charts. I know what influences people's lives.
But, Patty, there is nothing to this stuff.
You're always telling me you want me to think for myself. Are you telling me now that because you don't believe in astrology, I can't believe in it?
Well, I didn't say exactly that. I mean, I want you to find out things for yourself.
Then I can go on giving readings?
Well, all right. If these kids are silly enough to listen to you, I suppose it serves them right. But you are not to charge them anymore.
Oh, but...
And that's final.
You've just converted me from a profitable, thriving business to a non-profit charitable organization.
Couldn't have phrased that better myself. Say hello to the stars for me.
Don't catch cold. Done it again. First I predicted Papa's accident. Then Susan's new boyfriend, Richard's aunt. I'm incredible. I see. And it has nothing to do with the stars. Well, I must have something. These kids aren't paying me their hard-earned money for nothing. Not anymore, they're not. Your father put a stop to it. No, he didn't. All he said was I couldn't charge any money. I'm not going to. From now on, my readings are free. But if anybody wants to make a contribution, I'm not going to fight it. I need your help. No. All I need is $3 more to get Mom's birthday present. If you help me get it, I'll give up astrology. Is that a promise? I wouldn't lie to you. Saturn's in conjunction with Mars. You look great, Kath. I feel ridiculous. Why does it have to be two of you? Because the money will come in twice as fast. I have it all worked out. With two of us operating, we'll be able to close up shop by tonight. Next, step this way, please. Enter and be seated. Next, could you step this way, please? Oh, hi, Patty. I thought you were in the other room. Hi, Sue. Sit down. Boy, have I got a problem. You told me not to see Alan anymore. I did. I did. And Alan asked me to the dance Saturday night. Well, I turned him down because you told me to go with Stanley. Stanley? That dreamy new boy I met. Pisces. Oh, the fish. What's your problem? Stanley hasn't asked me to the Saturday night dance yet. Hey, I'm not going to get stuck without a date, am I? At least I could always count on Alan. Alan is a very nice boy. Why don't you go to the dance with him Saturday? Oh, you told me the stars were against it. He's a Leo. Oh? Maybe I better check it again. Here. According to your chart, the letter A is very lucky for you this week. And Alan is a very nice boy. Oh, then it's all right if I accept the date with him? I would if I were in your shoes. In your stars. Oh, hey, thanks, Patty. I've been going with Alan for 6 months, and, well, I like him very much. I'm glad we're not ill-fated or anything. Well, now, I know you don't charge anything, but here's my voluntary contribution given of my own free will. Bye-bye. Come back anytime. And remember, you'll start to lose the sun-moon opposition next week, and then you can swing out. Oh, you're in here. Oh, hi, Suzo. Sit down. Listen, I forgot to ask you. What do I tell Stanley? What do you tell Stanley about what? Oh, I mean, do I just tell him I'm going to the dance with Alan? You can't go to the dance with Alan. He's a Leo. But you just told me to go to the dance with Alan. Oh, why would I tell you a thing like that? Because his name begins with A. What does that got to do with it? His name begins with A. That's right. Sometimes that can make a difference. You better let me check it again. Here we go with Leo. Leo. Here. Oh, it's all right. It's all right. A is good for Saturday. Oh, but S is better. You better go with Stanley. Is that definite? Absolutely. It's written in the stars. But Stanley hasn't asked me yet. Don't worry, he will. Pisces moves very slowly, but wow. Enjoy the dance Saturday. Thanks, Patty.
The suckers have all gone. There's someone downstairs to see you, old great one.
I think I'll take an astral break. Boy, I'm tired.
But it's sure a good feeling to know you've helped people solve their problems.
Hi there.
Hello. I'm looking for Miss Patty Lane.
Boy, the word sure spreads. Build a better mousetrap and everyone comes running.
My name is Roberts, detective, 2nd grade.
Detective 2nd grade, huh?
I'm checking on a report that a fortune teller's operating in this neighborhood. I was told you might be able to help me.
As far as I know, there's no real fortune teller in the neighborhood.
Can we quit now? I'm exhausted.
Why don't you run back upstairs and lie down?
Because you and I are going to have a talk, cousin.
That's a very interesting outfit you have on there.
You mean these fortune-telling clothes?
Oh, is that what they call it?
It's a costume for our school play.
School play?
What's the name of this school play?
We're doing Fortune Teller by Victor Herbert.
Is that so? Oh, that's a favorite of mine. There's a gypsy love song in it. Now, how does it go?
She knows. She's playing the lead. I'm playing the... Yes, now, don't be modest. Why don't you sing the song for Detective Robert, 2nd grade, who's here because someone says there's an illegal fortune teller in the neighborhood? Slumber
My little gypsy sweetheart, dream of the fields and the grove. Can you hear me in that dreamland where your fancies rove?
Well, that's very nice, very nice. Well, I guess I made a mistake.
That's all right. Come back anytime.
What?
Hey, you know that prediction you made?
What address did you want?
Patty, I want...
Oh, you wanted Patty. That's Patty. If you'll excuse me, I have an awful lot of homework to do.
I have sworn that was Patty.
Patty, I think you and I had better have a little chat. Mind if I take a look at your room?
It's an awful mess.
I know. You've been rehearsing all afternoon.
All right. We didn't really mean to do anything wrong. We just...
Well, it's a nice room.
Thank you.
Now, you look like nice girls. I don't want you to get into any trouble.
No, sir. If there was ever any fortune telling going on around here, I can promise you it'll never happen again.
I believe you.
Thanks. Isn't there a police fund for widows and orphans?
Yes?
We'd like to make a contribution. Hey! Did you want to say something? Hey! What a good idea.
Well, thank you, but why don't you take it down to the station? I'll be glad to accept it.
Fine. We'll bring it down this afternoon.
Good, good. Oh, would you like some advice?
Yes, sir.
Get rid of all that junk under the bed, huh?
I hope you didn't mind about the money. I thought it was the least we could do.
I guess so. Boy, that was a close call. Never again.
Kathy,
Listen to my horoscope. Today is a good day for you to start looking for a different career.
Tomorrow is your mother's birthday, you know.
Yeah, I know.
Kathy told me while you were holding those astrology readings.
boy, she has a big mouth.
So, I was just thinking if you'd like an advance on your allowance, why, the stores are still open.
Do you mean that?
Yeah.
Thanks, Papa.
Couldn't help myself. It was written in the stars.
Hi, Ross.
Don't speak to me.
Well, I do.
You and your Stars got me off the Little League team. You told me the Stars wanted me to be a pitcher. Well, Scotty Sheldon got it.
Boy, this time you really fixed me.
Me? What'd I do?
I went out and bought a $200 hi-fi set.
Congratulations.
Congratulations. I was going to pay for it with the money I got from my rich aunt.
Didn't she give it to you yet?
She came down from Canada to borrow money from us. The store won't take the set back, and I've got to work after school all winter to pay it off.
That's terrible, Richard. Susan?
Oh, there you are. Well, I just came to tell you never to talk to me again.
What's the matter?
Well, why don't you ask the Stars?
Not in touch anymore.
What happened? Well, you told me to turn Alan down. Well, I did. Well, then I found out Stanley's going with another girl. And now I don't have a date for the Saturday night dance.
Yes, you do. Why don't you go with me?
She can't go with you.
Why not?
Because Aquarius and Gemini don't mix.
Oh, they don't, huh? Well, just watch.
Here's Kathy, who's lived most everywhere, from Zanzibar to Berkeley Square.
But Patty's only seen the sights a girl can see from Brooklyn Heights. What a crazy pair, but they're cousins, identical cousins, and you'll find they laugh alike,
They walk alike,
at times they even talk alike. You can lose your mind when cousins are two of a kind.
It's a 5-letter word for breakout. Third letter is U. Erupt. That's what I'd like to do.
You'd like to erupt?
Break out. Seems like it's been miserable out forever.
Why don't you read a book?
I've read a book. Read one, you've read them all. What are you making?
A shift.
I could have been a great dress designer, but I flunked sewing. Could never thread a needle. Why they use nervous needles? What's that for?
I'm going to trace the design of the cap and see how it will look on the front.
And tell you how it'll look. Ghastly. Why don't we go see a movie?
Because I want to finish this.
What are you going to call it? Catnip?
Patty, why don't you go call Richard?
I know when I'm not wanted.
See you later, cuz.
If you told me you needed money for a new dress, I'd have loaned you some.
Don't you like this dress?
It's catastrophic. Look, this is what the in-group is wearing. Doesn't it make you feel naked wearing something no one else has on?
No. Hi, Patty.
Hi, Mary.
Hi, Kathy.
Hello, Miss.
Is that a new dress?
Yes.
It's beautiful. Where'd you buy it?
I made it.
Oh, you're putting me on.
No, she really did. Cuckoo, isn't it?
Could you make me one like it?
I'm afraid sure she could. For $9.95.
It's a deal.
But
Hi. Say, that's wild. Who sells them?
My partner and I. $9.95.
And what do you call it?
Catnip. Well, could you make me one in red and one in blue? One red, one blue.
What's going on?
Look what I just ordered, and it's only $9.95.
How soon could I have one?
I don't... Monday.
I'd like it in green.
Our Nile model, 7A.
My folks are taking me to Switzerland next week. Could you mail it over there?
I'll send a memo to our shipping department.
Great.
Go to the European market, too. Patty, I only have 10 fingers. I can't make dresses. Shh. Don't bother me with the details.
Hey, do you have it in yellow?
Any color your little heart desires. That's our model 6D. Girls, now, let's get organized here. What size did you like?
Oh, where's your size?
Meet Kathy, who's lived most everywhere, from Zanzibar to Berkeley Square.
But Patty's only seen the sights a girl can see from Brooklyn Heights. What a crazy pair, but they're cousins, identical cousins all the way. One pair of matching bookends, different as night and day.
Where Kathy adores a minuet, the ballet russe, and crepe Suzette.
Our Patty loves to rock and roll, a hot dog makes her lose control. What a wild duet, still they're cousins, identical cousins, and you find they laugh alike,
They walk alike,
at times they even talk alike. You can lose your mind when cousins are two of a kind.
We're rich. I got 43 orders, and that's just the first day. Partner.
It's also the last day. Partner. No wonder you're nervous. A sensitive artist like you on the brink of greatness. Stick to me, and you'll become a dynasty. Stick to you and I'll become a one-woman sweatshop. Do you know what you're doing? It took me 3 days to make this dress. That means it would take me 129 days to fill those orders that you promised for Monday. Will you calm down and let me explain? Explain what? You don't have any material, you don't have any sewing machines, and you don't have me. You're a creative genius, I'm a business genius. Together, we're gonna build an empire. Based on one little dress? Do you have any idea how many people built careers on just one little thing? Fulton invented one little steamboat. Whitney invented one little cotton gin. The Wright brothers... Patty, you don't know anything about the dress business. I can learn. Papa always says, when you need to know something, go to an expert. There are lots of good designers in this country. Hey, there's a beautiful dress. It's lovely. Gregory Madison. Who's he? One of the most famous designers in the world. That's our man. What are you talking about? You'll see. Operator, I'd like to send a telegram.
Come.
This just came from the Worldwide Dress Company, Mr. Madison.
Worldwide? Never heard of them. Must be a new firm.
Well, their president and vice president will be in town this afternoon at 4 o'clock. They'd like a meeting with you to discuss a matter of mutual financial interest.
Sounds impressive, huh? You better see the bar stock and get plenty of good cigars.
Yes, Mr. Madison.
Oh, are they here?
Yes, sir, but...
Well, don't keep them waiting. Show them in.
Yes, sir.
Talk to you later.
I'm Patty Lane, president of the Worldwide Dress Company. This is my vice president, Kathy Lane.
You're the... and you're the... I'm Greg Madison. That'll be all, Miss Hamlin.
Well. You got our telegram?
The telegram, yeah. Please, sit down. Oh, well, would you care for a drink? Glass of milk?
No, thank you.
Well, what can I do for you?
It's what we can do for you, Mr. Madison. We're here to give you a hand.
Well, it's very kind of you.
You see, we've just gone into business, and we're going to give you a chance to get in on the ground floor.
A ground floor of what?
Our dynasty, if everything goes all right.
Well, let's hope that it will.
We're willing to give you a percentage of our business.
Well, that's very generous of you. But tell me, what have I done to deserve this?
It's what you're going to do, Mr. Madison. You see, my vice president here designed a dress and wore it to school, and now it's selling like there's no tomorrow.
Well, then what's your problem?
Well, we don't have any material to make the dresses to fill our orders, and we don't know where to get it.
Oh, I see.
We were hoping you could send us to your wholesalers.
May I see your designs?
Certainly. It's all right for you to look at it. We've already applied for a patent.
Oh, well, that was wise of you.
This is it.
Well, now, that really is charming. Really charming. You're a very talented young lady.
Aren't we? Do you really like it?
Yes, yes. It does need something. Do you mind?
Not at all.
Now then, let me see what I can do. Let me show you the famous Madison touch. Little Madison magic here. Whisk broom. Shears. It's amazing what you can do with little things that really have no... There. Take whisk and a little tape and attach thusly. That ought to do it. Now, this will give you a rough idea of what I mean.
That's much better. I love it. We should give you a royalty on... Very nice, Mr. Madison. Exactly what we had in mind.
Now then, let's see what we will need.
Then you're really going to help us?
I'd love to. But look, don't worry about the percentage. Let me do it for the excitement of helping to found a new dynasty.
That's even better.
One thing, were you planning on using this material?
Yes, I was.
Uh-huh. Well, may I suggest something a little bit heavier? Let's say a denim.
Why didn't I think of that? You would have.
Well, for that, I'll send you to the RC Manufacturing Company. And let's see. We'll need a few of these rhinestones. For that, the Glitter Novelty Company.
Hi, dear.
Hello, darling. Ross?
Hi, Dad.
You look tired. How was your day? A brute?
Did you see any juicy killings or gang holdups?
I'm the managing editor of a newspaper, not one of the untouchables. There was a sign out there in the hall, WWDC.
Patty put it up. It means...
Don't tell me. Let me guess. Women's white dresses cleaned. Why worry desperate centipedes?
Worldwide Dress Company. There's an executive meeting going on in your study. Behind those closed doors are the president, vice president, and board of directors.
In my study?
Patty's the president. She's going into business.
She's gonna be a typhoon.
No, dear. A typhoon is a big wind.
That's close enough.
I think it'll be very good for her, darling. It'll give her a sense of responsibility.
Now, you and Craig make the deals and handle the business end of it. We'll sell the dresses for $10. Labor and material come to $6. That means we make $4 on every dress.
For every 100 dresses we sell, we make $400.
And for every 1,000 dresses we sell, we'll make $4,000. And every 10,000 dresses we sell, we'll make $40,000. We're rich.
Now, all the department stores have teenage shops. They'll be glad to do business with us.
Patty, it takes money to go into business.
No, it doesn't. My new silent partner gave me a letter to his wholesalers. We can get everything we need on credit. What's the first step? You mean, what's the first step? What kind of a question is that? It's obvious. Wait. What's our first step?
Well, you can't start manufacturing until you know how many orders you have to fill. The first thing to do is get your orders, buy the material, hire labor, and make the amount of dresses you sold.
See? I told you it was obvious. I know who our first customer is going to be. Stan Brook Department Store. Kathy, how long will it take you to make 10 more of those dresses? Me? You said we were going to set up a factory. Well, that comes later. I need 10 of those dresses right away. How's it going? All right. Gee, I wish I had your talent. See you later. Well, they're racing right along, aren't they? Yes, aren't they? I'll stick with it. Zip, zip, zip. Good old American know-how. I'd give anything if I could do that. Come on, see you after the movie.
Your catnip dress. It's very original.
Our sales department is swamped with orders, but we'd like to help you out as much as we can.
I don't know if we could commit ourselves to an order from a firm that's had no manufacturing experience.
Call Gregory Madison.
Gregory Madison?
He's sort of our silent partner. We already have 70 orders from our school alone. And they're very inexpensive. We can supply them to you for only $9.95.
All right. Call off your clack. I'm convinced. If you can guarantee delivery, I'll give you an order for one.
One? Frankly, Miss Mason, with a product as outstanding as ours, we had hoped for a little larger order.
We don't like to plunge on any item till we've had a chance to test it. How soon could we expect delivery?
Would 6 o'clock be all right?
Well, we're not in that much of a hurry. Let's make the delivery date
Friday, and I'll increase the order to 2 on a consignment basis.
But that will be fine, Miss Mason. Thank you.
All right, that's Friday, the 17th, on consignment, 2 gross. There you are.
Thanks a lot. Did she say 2 gross? That's what she said. Do you know how many dresses that is? How many dresses is it? 288 dresses. And you promised them by Friday. That's only 3 days away. We've got to cancel that order. Oh, we can't do that. We'll be out of business before we begin. What are we going to do? Use good old American know-how. RC Manufacturing Company? This is Patty Lane, president of the Worldwide Dress Company. Yes. I want to order 700 yards of blue Novelty Company. I'd like to order 1,000 rhinestone...
I want to rent 10 sewing machines. You'll have to deliver them this afternoon in about 6 colors. Right. There you are. Right, Craig. Where are you from?
I live here.
Oh, it's you, Mr. Lane. I wasn't expecting you.
I like to drop in from time to time.
Right. Hello, Mr. Lane.
Craig?
How's it going upstairs, Craig? There you are. Pretty busy afternoon.
I can see that. Your trucks have got the whole block tied up.
That's big business.
There. Try it now. Thanks, Chief.
Oh, Chief. Could I see you for a minute? Kathy. And, Madam President, if you don't mind.
But, Martin, I haven't had this much fun in years.
There is something wrong with all this instant success.
Why? Richard figured out that by the end of the year, we could make $500,000.
Oh, Richard figured that out, huh?
You know how clouds sweep the country, Uncle Martin. Why, they're like tidal waves.
Well, it's a funny thing about tidal waves. They go out, too.
Gregory said that if you're going to do something, do it big.
Oh, Gregory said that.
Look at this order.
Well, this says on consignment.
What's that?
Patty, are you sure you're ready to be president of a company?
Oh, don't be a big business pooper.
On consignment, young lady, means that if they don't sell the dresses, they can return them to you.
Why shouldn't they sell them? All the girls from school buy there. Sure. We just ordered material for another 200 dresses.
You're right, it is like a tidal wave. Beginning to wish I had an aqua lung.
I'll get it. If that's the shipment of boxes, send them up to the East Plant.
East Plant?
That's Ross's room. Martin, I think you ought to do a story on this.
Teenage tycoon's terrified dress trade? Natalie, it's not possible to start a business without experience, assets, or capital.
James Watts started with a teapot and some hot water.
I have a feeling that's what we're going to end up in.
This is Mr. Dobson, my aunt and uncle, Mr. and Mrs. Lane, and our president, Patty.
How do you do?
Hello.
How do you do?
I had planned on being here earlier, but there's a terrible traffic jam out there.
That's big business.
Business must be good.
We're having a hard time filling our orders.
Well, that's what we like to hear.
We?
Yes, I'm with the government. Small Business Bureau Division. Now, you're president of the Worldwide Dress Company?
Yes.
You operate from these premises?
Yes.
They just got started.
Do you have employees on the premises?
Yes, there are 12 of them.
Well, that's a good round number. You two run the business for yourselves, huh?
That's right, they're all on their own.
Well, not entirely on their own. We wouldn't want them to feel neglected. They have a partner.
A partner?
Uncle Sam. Here's some W-4 forms for withholding taxes, unemployment and disability forms for your employees. You'll have 48 hours in which to get a manufacturer's license. You'll need a safety inspector's seal for the premises and a waiver to rezone this house for manufacturing. There hasn't been a residential manufacturer waiver in the last 50 years.
Can they do this to us?
What are you going to do? Fight free enterprise?
I'm going out to mail the dress to Europe now. How much is postage to Switzerland?
And an export license.
For one dress?
Some of our other departments will be calling on you this afternoon. I have a feeling that you're going to be keeping us pretty busy. Well, good luck with your business.
Small business pooper.
It was wonderful of your father to straighten out all that red tape for us.
Sure was. It only took 2 lawyers, an accountant, and a business manager.
The whole industry founded on our brains. Gives you a feeling of power, doesn't it? It gives me a feeling of panic. Richard said you ordered enough material for 300 more dresses.
That's right. We have to be ready for the deluge. Reorders should be coming in any minute. Come on.
Hey, that's darling. I want one with a picture of Johnny on it. Where can I buy it?
For me. I'm making them myself.
I want one, too.
How much are they? $8.95. Can I have 2?
Sure.
I'd like one with Pete and one with Joe.
I want one in blue and one in yellow.
Great.
Girls. Now, listen, girls, you don't want to buy those dresses. They're practical.
Start really a pattern.
What if you change boyfriends?
Well, you gotta hand it to these kids. Give the public what it wants. Hello, Richard. Keep pretty busy, huh?
Yes, sir.
Hey, where's the president and the board of directors?
They're in the living room.
Huh? Counting their money, I presume. Why, I was sure wrong about this group. Well, this is a grim-looking gathering. That just proves that money doesn't bring happiness.
Welcome to Bankrupt Manor. I'm possibly the youngest failure in America.
Bankrupt Manor? What are you talking about?
We got drowned in the tidal wave.
But I saw a lot of trucks out there. They were making deliveries.
They were returning dresses. We've been deconsigned.
What happened?
Someone came up with a newer idea.
Yeah, you know how fickle teenagers are.
What about all that material you had stockpiled?
We went to Mr. Madison about that. He was wonderful. He took it all off our hands. He couldn't do anything about the finished dresses. They're a little out of his line. Boy, I really washed out. I'm sorry. It's as much my fault as it is yours.
Well, here are the figures. After we deduct material, labor, and insurance, and balance that against total expenditures, minus capital assets, we have $1.25 left.
Oh, that's not too bad. At least you ended up on the profit side of the ledger.
And on the debit side of the ledger, we're stuck with 25 dresses at a cost of $6 apiece. That's $150 we owe.
And I was going to build an empire. I should be declared a disaster area.
Honey, you tried. You had an idea and you followed it through. I'm proud of you.
But it didn't work.
Patty, a lot of dreams in life don't work out the way we hope they will. But that doesn't mean we have to stop dreaming.
Then you're not angry with me?
No. Well, you almost accomplished a very rare feat. For a while there, I actually thought you were going to start a business with no assets, no capital, and no experience. That could have set a very dangerous precedent.
I love you, Papa.
Listen now, may I make a suggestion?
We'll take it.
No, I haven't made it yet. I was just thinking, suppose we donate all these dresses to some worthy relief organization. Now, I'd be willing to bear half of the cost if the rest of you will bear the other half. And you can pay me back at the rate of, say, $2 a week.
Do you mean that? That's wonderful, Uncle Martin.
Good. Then it's all settled.
May I make a suggestion?
Go ahead.
let's go spend the assets on some ice cream soda.
All in favor?
Why don't we go to a movie? I can't this afternoon, Patty. I'm busy. What are you making? A hat?
Hey, I like that.
Do you?
I sure do.
Do you know something? Yes. We are going to a movie.
Here's Kathy, who's lived most everywhere, from Zanzibar to Berkeley Square.
But Patty's only seen the sights a girl can see from Brooklyn Heights. What a crazy pair, but they're cousins, identical cousins, and you'll find they laugh alike,
They walk alike, at times they even talk alike.
you can lose your mind.